Welcome! You came looking for the best, safest base you can make in Alpha 18, and here you are. Well, that's about it. I'll see you next time. No, I'm just kidding. Even though this is, well, essentially it. But let's take it from the beginning. Let's rewind a little bit. So let's do this intro again. Welcome to the best base build that you can make in Alpha 18. Something that is really easy to build and is extremely effective, almost too effective. And this one obviously is not it. And I hope you're going to enjoy it. This is, I would say it's close to cheesing the AI fairly considerably. But it gives you probably a little bit of insight into how the zombie AI works in Alpha 18 and how you can use it, maybe not cheesing it as badly as I will show you, even though that really makes for a very safe base. So I really hope you're going to be enjoying this video and learn something from it. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if you're on Twitter, make sure you follow me on Twitter because I follow back all gamers. So as you can see, we have all these zombies that are jumping here, and I probably should stand slightly straight here. And one of the big changes in Alpha 17 was that they changed how the AI works so that, well, now they're a lot smarter, they follow paths, and they try to get to the player. Good, right? Yes and no. They have made some improvements. One of the big ones that is always touted is that they will no longer stand underneath you and mill around and do nothing. And that sort of was the case in Alpha 17. It's no longer the case in Alpha 18. They still mill about, but I'll show you exactly how. And why it's important to understand this is that in Alpha 17, the primary consideration of the zombie was to try to get to the same level as you are. I mean, I'm talking about player level. I'm talking about the altitude. So they always would go up here and then try to jump over to attack you because that's on the same plane as you are. And that was a significant one because it meant that zombies would avoid bashing down at the bottom if they had a path up to the player. With me so far? They did change that a little bit, so they had, when the zombie would jump and fall down, they would have a rage mode so that they would try to avoid just always running up again, which is what broke some of these fall traps or made them a little bit harder. But as you can see, that is still a thing in Alpha 18. So why is this dry, boring stuff important for Alpha 18? Well, it's because in Alpha 18, being on the same layer or same altitude as the player is no longer a primary concern. And how does this, what does this really mean? It means that if they have a path, they actually prefer to go instead under you. What this means in Alpha 18 is that instead of being on the same horizontal path, they try to be on the same vertical path. So they try to be below you. And that changes how they interact with ramps. So when I was doing that testing, I was thinking, it's like, how can you make use of this? And let me show. So my reasoning went that if it means that they actually want to be underneath you, then doesn't that mean that if you make a way so that they start going up when they can't get underneath you, that's what they will do? And I thought, fine, let me make a ramp up here, which is right above or right below where I'm standing, and have a path around, because obviously that means that they have a path to follow because they will come here and they want to jump over. And I was expecting them to always do that and never bash anything. So how does this work in practice? Let's try it out. So here we have some zombie nurses. So if I stand over here, they will, as expected, run over here, jump, bash, fail, and they'll jump again and again. And sometimes they'll get really frustrated because they fail and they'll enter their aggro mode. But one thing I noticed is that, wait, what's happening here? You see how they go back and forth? I accidentally was moving around and I realized that, hey, if I move slightly here, they actually go back. If I move here, they try to follow the path. So I can very easily control how they are moving simply by changing where I am in relation to this path, because they want to be underneath me, but they can't because obviously I'm up here. So, well, I figured, fine, if I'm here, then what happens? Well, you can see, so they want to be underneath me, which of course doesn't work because, well, there's no way to get up here. So they decide to path towards me, But as they get up, they realize that no, that's a long path, and it's actually better to just be underneath me. So instead, they sort of mill around here. And sometimes they do fall off, and they go over here and start to bash something. But their general way of handling it is that they try, oops, all right, they try to simply be here. And this allows you to make a fairly safe base where they will just mill around your ramp. And I think that if you made the ramp larger so they can't easily fall off it, then they were just going to be there the whole time. And if you want to play around with them, you just move closer, and then you move back, and then you move closer. And yeah, this shows how the AI is both too smart and too dumb, but entirely predictable, because this is a really easy base to make. You don't really need more than just a few blocks. And of course, there's a lot of variation for it. And you could just stand here with a bow or something, move back and forth, and maybe even with a spear. Let's try that spear. Let's get a steel spear. No, I can't reach. Oh, no. Let's get up. Sorry, let's pretend I didn't fall off there. No, I can't reach them. Maybe if I... Nope. So, with a bow, you can just stand here. Oh, I can. Yeah, this even works. You just stand there and hit them, get some headshots, and kill them. And this is obviously not what the game is supposed to be all about. So it looks really funny, and the underlying problem again is that they are trying to desperately change the AI to counter the player's way of building things. But I've said this before, there's no way that the AI in the game is going to be able to keep up with the ingenuity of players who can make, any ways to just find these edge cases where the zombie AI simply fails, and then we have a really easy base. I mean, I'm entirely safe here. There's no way they're going to get to me. They might occasionally bash some stuff and everything, but most of the time they just stand here, run around. Only when they fall off do they go like, hey, I fell down, I'm going to go bash something, and then they'll come back here again. So, want a really safe early base? Here you go. You definitely will survive the Blood Moon Horde. Bumpims, stop trying to nerf our base strategies. Just do some AI that makes sense instead of something that we can easily and predictably cheese and abuse, because there's no way you can stop it. Sorry. And the more you try to stop it, the weirder it gets. Oh well. So this is the safest early and late game base that you can have in 7 Days to Die. Hope you enjoyed, and well, you probably enjoyed it, right? And learned something, so make sure you hit that subscribe and that like button, of course. See you next time.
Special thanks to the great patrons supporting the channel. If you would like to join the vetted community and support these videos, do follow the Patreon link.